First, many people stared at me and asked, free healthcare? Absolutely free. Is it possible to go to hospital without paying? From minor cuts to kidney transplants, everything is for free? Later, I will find out if it is actually free. However, it is certain that in the country, one does not need to spend any money when they are sick. The country with such heavenly happiness and comfort is England. I wondered how an old man could remain so sparkling and attractive even past his 75th birthday. He is not a man though. The famous 75-year-old system is known as NHS or National Health Service, the health system of England. Whenever we take the name of England, we Indians cannot possibly forget the colonial oppression that once took place in India. Over a couple of centuries that the Britishers ruled India, $45 trillion was siphoned out of India. The East India Company ruled India most ruthlessly, and they even put high taxes on everyday commodities, including salt. At one time, England ruled from Japan to America, and sun never set in colonial British Empire. They have shifted money, gems, jewels, properties, many of which are now claimed to be gifted to them, apparently. Now they are successfully draining the elite brains all over the world, especially from developing countries like India. Surprisingly, there is no colonialism or war involved in this. They cannot be blamed for this brain drain, it is rather their credit. The 75-year-old British health system, NHS, is a source of pride for Britons and admired worldwide. Despite the wealth and heritage of many countries, none have replicated it. Cuba was said to be close, but we have scarce information about it. We get a lot of information from England. When working there for over a decade, I had the chance to observe and experience how NHS operates. While healthcare is not entirely free anywhere, including England, the British government ensures its citizens' health by encouraging them to contribute a small monthly fee in exchange for support during illness. This system, which covers expenses for serious health issues, instills trust and satisfaction among its users. Of course, it changes a citizen's outlook. He can earn a lot of money and then use this money to buy life-changing electronic gadgets, nice cars, can have exotic holidays ranging from Japan to Cyprus. Because after all, he doesn't need to worry what happens to him and to his family or his pocket when he falls unwell. So is it really like heaven? How is it all run? This is run in a unique way, almost like a subscription-based service. Monthly, you need to pay a premium. The name is national insurance. Money that the government earns through national insurance is used to run health system and many other welfare projects there. It is mandatory to pay and contribute to national insurance. If someone earns monthly, then one has to pay national insurance, and there are no exceptions. That's above and after paying for the income tax. Unlike in our country, they do not have any card system where the nation is keeping track of someone's eye or fingerprint. However, it is important to get a national insurance number. It is a credit card size card. It contains a number and that's all. One cannot even join a job without national insurance number, and the government is very rigid about it. The monthly contribution to national insurance is quite hefty. Roughly speaking, if one earns 3.5 lakh rupees after paying 30% income tax, they will have to pay 40,000 or so in national insurance. That's a large sum. Doesn't make anyone happy. However, whenever she reflects that at the time of illness, the nation will provide the most advanced healthcare in the world, she happily pays the national insurance. Just a few years after England retreated from India, after our independence, the National Health Service was born. After being involved in 2 consecutive world wars, England's health hit rock bottom. According to a theory, enhancing overall health could lower healthcare costs. This vibe was going very strong since 1909. However, when the wars hit England very hard, the concept turned into a reality. At the end, on 5th July 1948, the then Health Minister Aneurin Bevan established National Health Service, and the proud journey started. NHS is a robust system. It looks not only after day-to-day petty health problems, but also it propels world's famous medical researches and offers state-of-the-art medical technologies to its citizens. All of these are free, at least at the time of taking the services. A pride in England. However, government expenditure on NHS has been growing year on year, and it has now reached a phenomenal amount. English government started to struggle to fund NHS meaningfully. During 1980s, there was a sharp change in how the NHS operated. Now, whatever I'm going to say here, it is open to fierce debates. And this is just one version. It is my personal take. I suppose to keep the expenditure under control, erstwhile Prime Minister, the famous Margaret Thatcher, started an internal market system within the NHS. Previously, patients used to go to hospital and government used to pay the hospital for their treatment. In 1980, everything changed. Funds will now flow directly from the government to general practitioners, as decided by the government. These general practitioners are like mahalla-based clinics for a group of citizens in a particular area of the city. The hospital will not receive payment from the government. GPs will purchase hospital services on behalf of the patient when needed. GPs will tightly control how the fund gets spent on the patient. GPs will determine whether to treat the patient at home or refer them to the hospital. In this system, the hospital does not get any direct fund from the government, and GPs keep an eye to avoid unnecessary expenditure on healthcare. It is still debated whether that change was good or bad. However, it is undeniable that in 1980s, the NHS received its major blow. Over decades, doctors and patients in England collaborated to create cost-effective, world-class treatment guidelines. This country boasts for having clear pathway for treatment, which hospital should patients visit for specific symptoms and how quickly can they receive treatment and at what cost. Patients get triaged. Patients with headache caused by a brain tumor will get treated within a few days. On the other hand, if the headache is due to dehydration or stress, patients may wait for a few weeks. Local GP can provide sufficient treatment for certain causes, eliminating the need for hospital specialists. The gallstone, which is causing jaundice, will get attention on the same day at the most advanced hospitals. Similarly, gallstones without any symptoms will be put on a rather long waiting list. Patients often have to endure a frustrating waiting list, lasting weeks or even months. For non-urgent treatment, nowadays, those with enough money bypass the waiting list and can seek private treatment in hospitals like Bupa in Manchester and London, avoiding NHS. Or sometimes, when they are visiting their own country, like in India, they get prompt MRI or surgeries done here. Clinical governance. No matter what, NHS should take pride in creating a massive infrastructure and sanctuary where the doctors and patients work hand in hand. No interference with politics. The environment known as clinical governance is the envy of the whole world. Brain drain. During colonial era, Britishers earned a lot of gems and jewels from our country, but now they are attracting and brain draining some of the best Indian doctors. No, they don't have to fight any battles now. They just open their door and say, "Come here, learn and treat our patients, and we will not poke you with the politics, religion, or any other problems. You will just treat patients and learn medicine." Even in 2023, they excel at attracting the world's greatest minds. The NHS at 75 years is facing numerous troubles with skyrocketing costs and financial uncertainty. UK government is running out of money. They need more and more doctors as well. The general salary of an average British doctor is not so high compared to the cost of living there. As a result, Caucasian British students lost interest in becoming a doctor in UK. They are flocking out of England to go to New Zealand or Australia or America, where money is more and the sun shines brighter. However, next generation British Indian origin kids are still very fond of becoming a doctor. And of course, all over the world, they attract doctors into that country. If someone has got MD, MS or DM from India, when they reach England, they are just plain MBBS. None of our degrees are recognized there. So what? They learn and then they qualify to get British postgraduate degree, get accolades from Royal College and then flourish over there. It is important to highlight the differences between the American and British health system. The American system, similar to India's, relies heavily on advertising to attract patients, with costs covered by out-of-pocket expenditure or increasingly expensive insurance companies. On the other hand, the British system is government funded. The government has established mechanisms to control costs, including the state-of-the-art NICE or Clinical Excellence Program called NICE. This program ensures that every new technology or treatment is thoroughly analyzed by experts before the government funds it for patients. They closely monitor all new treatments to determine whether they are truly beneficial for the patients or not. If they are satisfied, the treatment is extended free of cost. In UK, if the new technology is just a glare, they are rejected. British system is more in line with expectation and hope of modern Indian patients. British guidelines are more suitable to Indian population instead of American guidelines. This is my personal opinion though, but there is a reason. Just like Government of England, here the patient pays out of their pocket and they need to know which treatment works and which just glitters on newspaper and city advertisements. Despite its lacunae, NHS must continue to exist, at least to spread the ray of hope to the world that yes, it is possible to provide cutting-edge medical treatment to the patients, and that too, to do with that, the government does not have to scramble for the cheapest and lowest quality health products. Instead, with a good plan and some forward thinking, governments can do wonders for their citizens. Long live NHS and stay happy and of course, stay healthy.